Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Christelle Martinette. And before I start my July readings, I just want to say, it'll take me about 5 minutes, a few words about dimensions and about the work we do as readers, how it's done, how it's actually done. I've been hearing a lot of people in YouTube throwing around the word Akashic Records and Akashic Records readings, the Tree of Life, and so on. It seems that these are the latest watchwords of the day. But to be able to address a wide audience, because YouTube indeed does address a wide audience, it may be helpful to dispel a lot of the confusion, to clarify a lot of things by explaining where we actually get our information and how. So to do that, I'm going to take a multidimensional perspective. Many spiritual traditions and teachers talk about 10 different dimensions of existence. The equations in physics that are put forth by this theory called superstring theory talks about 10 dimensions of existence. So what is that? Superstring theory is an attempt to explain all of the particles and fundamental forces of nature in one only theory by modeling them as vibrations of tiny supersymmetric strings, tiny energy strings. You hear us often mention when we say our vibrational rate. This is what we refer to. And in the soul work and the soul therapy I do, I've personally always considered there to be 10 dimensions of existence for the soul, with an added to the 11th and the 12th dimension existences reserved to other supernatural beings, or we can call them spirits, we can call them celestial beings, we can call them divine messengers or angels and archangels. And especially recently, could be 10 years, but recently, specifically 2-3 last years, the dimensional levels of our being that we're able to access personally from this dimension, this third dimension, because I'm speaking to you from the third dimensional incarnation with my flesh and blood and bones, we've increased our ability greatly over this past few years of how we access higher regions. We're more and more able to conceive of the choices that we make and the choices that express who we are at the soul level. We're more and more aware of our individuality, that in theory, at least, we also get to be exactly who we are in theory, rather than having to follow some, society norm or convention or cultural norm. But this is not true, of course, for all parts of the world, all parts of the planet, because many people, however, though, are opening up to living by their own unique rules today. And as our thoughts align to who we are at soul level, we can receive then more information and guidance from upper dimensional aspects of our beings at the level of mind. So each of us, however, has an aspect at every single dimensional level. Each of us not only has a third dimensional person, but we have also a fourth and a fifth dimensional person. We're fourth and fifth dimensional beings. We also have an aspect that is sixth dimensional, seventh dimensional, and so on. But while we may not exactly be actively working within these planes, we already exist there. Think of the various dimensions as a cake, a layer cake. They're all one, it's a cake, and they're not separate from one another. They're all in one cake, and all the dimensions are layered one on top of another, and they exist at the same time, exist simultaneously. And every dimension affects another dimensions. Things that happen in one dimension affects other dimensions. And this is why spiritual evolution takes place through our experiences in this third dimension. But, and this is the trick, this density, this third dimension is very dense. Its physical experience is very dense. It makes it the dimension that most affects every other dimensional aspect of our existence. It takes a tremendous amount of energy to affect physical matter. Far more greater energy than it takes to think, for example. Our choices here in this third dimension affect our soul's vibration rate by either aligning to our divine self-expression or not. And the denser the dimension, the more profoundly all other dimensions are affected. And while at a less dense dimension, such as the fifth dimension, where we do clearing work, where I clear work for people, definitely has an effect on a denser dimension as a fourth or third, it takes more time for this effect to take place, and it is more subtle, depending on how self-aware, and this is the proviso, depending on how self-aware we are at these upper dimensional levels of existence. But it's important to think of the different dimensions as different perspective of our being. Dimensions are different from each other, but at a higher, I just want to mention that a higher dimension is not superior to the lower dimensions. They simply have different energetic qualities. And as a soul therapist, I do clearing at the fifth dimensional level in order to affect a person's entire being. And the Akashic records, that word thrown around so much, those are located also at the fifth dimension. The soul vibration rate of a person indicates to us what dimension we are primarily receiving guidance and information from, what dimensional aspect we would identify with as our higher self, while we talk about higher and lower vibration rates. That's what it refers to. So if we live our divine self-expression, we actually have the opportunity to embody our higher dimensional aspects within this human experience. This makes it possible then to access our records, Akashic records, whatever you want to call them, or rather, information of your soul's blueprint, your soul's history. And since all psychics, like myself, can really tap into great stores of energetic information, you can understand that it's really fundamental for you to work with someone you can trust. It's all about love as well, and how they can give love. And as we evolve further, you will begin to be fascinated as your vibrational rate becomes higher. You'll become fascinated with relationships and how our interdependence as humans affects our spiritual evolution. And you'll feel a natural desire to engage with others and serve others through the purpose that you have here. And at the same time, you'll want to engage with whole groups rather than individuals, hence the idea of giving seminars. And your method of manifestation will also change as you evolve. At first, we can manifest or channel information that moves us into action. Basically, we receive guidance on what to do in order to create the outcome that we want. And this is fifth dimensional vibration rate. And as we evolve in time, we begin to draw experiences to ourselves by shifting our states of being, usually through action. And that occurs at the upper fifth dimensional and the lower sixth dimensional rate. And eventually we manifest what we want by manifesting the relationships with others that our soul wants to experience, or by manifesting the relationship we have with ourselves. And this occurs at upper sixth dimension and seventh dimension vibration rate. I hope that these 5-6 minutes have made it a bit clearer for you, because once you evolve spiritually, and we help you do that, you yourself can benefit from tapping into different dimensions, thus receiving directly the guidance you want. That spirit guide team reading that I mentioned on my website, that's what it's all about, becoming in tune to your higher self. Now off to the July readings. Hello, Cancer friends. It's your turn now. Happy birthday to all of you who are having birthdays in this period. It is your turn. It is your turn, Cancer friends. I myself am celebrating a number of Cancer birthdays in my family and my friends. Lots. Let's see what these cards have to say for you. This is the New Orleans Voodoo Tarot, and I have the Angel Tarot with me and the Sibillas, plus my runes. Well, it is your turn. It is your turn. lot of thoughts. You know, the first thing that comes up are thoughts and ideas. Not only the celebration and the notion of having people around you to enjoy your birthday with, or being with family and friends. Here I see the birth of ideas, the replenishing of ideas, the change that you bring to your old perspectives. The way you see things now is slightly different, and it's actually visible. It's as if what you show to the world during this month of July is, you know, a cross section of your brain where you can actually point to the way the synapses and these neurons and all of that, you can point to say, well, this happened because, and this happened because, and this is what's going to happen here. You're showing people who you are and what you're made out of. That's, you know, you're going right through the surface, underneath the surface. And it's sort of interesting because not all Cancer friends can willingly open themselves very easily. Some of, you know, you tend to be discreet. You tend to be withdrawn at times. I'm seeing now that you're dancing a different tune. You are, the company you keep is different. I see that you open your wings, spreading your wings. You'll even spend the day with homeless people if that's not your normal company. You'll go and spend and have a meal with a person who is less well off than you. You'll spend time giving thanks in a community that you don't usually attend, that you don't usually frequent, that you don't usually see. And there's an element, very interesting element for you, Cancer, that tells me you have the power this month to move in any direction you like. Okay, the day is 24 hours. We know that. There is a limit. We are human beings. We can't literally fly above the ground, except in our dreams, perhaps, and in our meditative states. But what I'm seeing here is that you're given the opportunity to, it's as if somebody said here, look, this is a magic wand. Every time the color changes here in this light, you have a new wish that will come true. And that will happen 5 times. For 5 wishes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 wishes. And so you think and you think and you think the month of July. And you think, well, you know, let me experience this. You're very calm. Most of you are very, very calm. There is a moment in the month, and it does happen actually around mid-month, where you have, you know, some people around you, you get perturbed. And I'll look at that with the other cards. You get perturbed. But the rest of the time, you have really everything is at your feet. And you want, it's a month where you want to experience new emotions, little, and you're not shooting for the star. What you're doing is wanting an exchange. You want to sit down and exchange ideas with someone. You want to sit and talk about your dream last night. You want to, you know, play with your nephew's toys, sitting on the living room floor for hours. You'd like to just see the world at a different pace. You know, these are all notions that go through your head the month of July because you want to sort of have a lever in your hands that can control the timing. You want to control your time, you know. It's as if you don't want the passage of time to overcome you, but you want to do it. You know, this usually happens around our birth dates, but you're going to slow your pace, seemingly. Not walk slower, but your mind will also do the work for you. Let me see what these Angel Tarot add to the spread. And in so doing, all of those different experiences that you're seeking are going to bring you to such an important month. This is a month that is important for one reason and one reason alone. Because you're going to put yourself in the position of not forcing yourself, but accommodating an experience for yourself where you're going to be constantly in the present, something that you don't always do. You're anxiety-ridden. Many of you are anxiety-ridden. Many of you are, yes, homebodies, but would really like to travel. And you do get the opportunity to travel. And if you don't travel, what you do is go to museums where you can see other populations, how they live through different cultural artifacts. This is how your mind travels and your world travels in the month of July if you cannot move. You go to the library and you look at different National Geographic old magazines and take a look and see how different peoples, because it's all about people here. It's all about people. It's not about things and their worth. Here it's a matter of learning how things work, how people in their environment work, and how they live. And it's interesting because one element, the insidious part of mid-month I was talking about, is the notion that the sky's the limit. You can do anything you want. You can choose which avenue to go down, and that is going to challenge you. Where do I go? Do I want to learn about how they live in Zanzibar? Shall I go to Abu Dhabi? What about Stockholm? Alaska? Shall I go to the North Pole? What about Patagonia? And you start thinking, and you sort of are trying to make your decisions depending on past experiences and something that is already part of your makeup. And you're trying to link your past with the upcoming future. But you're very relaxed, you're very at ease, if not only for the notion of which one to choose, which avenue to go down. Now, there's the interest of, yes, like I said, learning about new populations, new peoples, and their history, their culture more than anything else, but in a very, very peaceful way. And there's a stepped up, heightened aesthetic quality in the month of July that you espouse. And what I mean by that is you do whatever you do and whatever avenue you go down, you do so in an effort to learn about the purity of those people, what moves them, what's the basis of their culture, what do these artifacts mean? And what's interesting is that it's going to be a month where you learn so much and you give thanks for so much, you appreciate so many things. And you're going to, the avenues that you go down that month. What's interesting about it is that the wealth that you receive in return is given by the information you learn. That is so different from how you live. The more different the context you learn about and you enter, the greater value of what you have learned for yourself, the greater the value is for yourself. Now, again, I spoke about this idea of travel. Many of you don't move, but there are those of you who will be traveling, who will be going on excursions precisely to, places where you've never been, and the type of travel that you would have never done. Usually, if you go on to five-star hotels, you'll be going on excursions with, your survival kit, things like that. You'll be doing the opposite of what you usually do. But again, think hard, especially now, if that's in your plans. Start to do that now, so you won't be caught off guard mid-month when the month is still having to progress, and where do I go now? You try to make some plans in that sense, and chart your terrain and your territory for you. Because I see here, this is a wild excursion, not wild in the sense crazy, but it's an excursion where the unknown becomes known and enriches you so much to the point that you become literally wealthy. You acquire a wealth of information. I'm going to go to the incoming cards here, the wild card, Les Barons, and the Judgment card that are the entrance cards for this spread. This is the Vera Sibilla that I have shuffled previously. The wild card and the Judgment card. This tells me that for many of you, and I'm getting quite a lot, I'm getting, more than 60%. The month of July will represent a period that you're going to contemplate radical changes, but not in this month. You're not meant to be doing it this month, but you will be in the upcoming months. Your time will be coming. And that involves activity. That involves a positive change in activity. We have the merchant, Mercanti, Meneo, and the Vecchia Signora speaks to positive change. And many of you will be signing new contracts, partnering up with others for new business. And this is the announcement of that. You may want to then, in the month of July, go visit different areas that can enrich you in the sense of where you want to go in future. Interesting. However, this also speaks to another, the rest of the 40% that you will be merging. There is an actual merger of your company with another, and it will be an extremely positive outcome. And also, there are those of you, and this is the minority I'm seeing, however, the minority who come into the month pondering you want to pop the question, okay? You're actually going to decide to get married. You're actually going to be engaged. You're actually going to have, you're going to tie the knot. Not tie the knot, you're going to become engaged. I don't see the wedding this month, okay? Let's go on to the focus. Let me see I'm going to go to the World card and Simbirada, the 8 World Rada card. Oh yeah, look, your travels, wherever they lead you, wherever they bring you, this is the fidelity, lettera, messaggero, the messenger, donna di servizio, the housemaid. The quality that you have to stick to your guns, to stick to the place, to, how can I say, to wave your banner, the banner that you yourself have created and made. Cancer, what I'm trying to say is where you are is an actually great place. You know that. And you're going to move in areas, down different avenues, to learn more, because you're starting to think, perhaps in the future I would like to change. But these cards are telling me the strength of those avenues, the strength of the information you will glean from those avenues will come to you, will be acquired because of your attachment to where you are currently. And that's very clear here. That's very clear here. And you will learn of that yourself, because as you move along those lines, a representative of yourself, a representative of your company, a representative of your family, you representing your family going, that will turn to your favor. You will be, people are going to start open doors. People will open their houses, open their doors, open their mouths and tell you about themselves. It's going to be a wealth of information coming your way, simply because you're walking in your own light. You have taken up it's as if you, this year's birthday has given you the opportunity to truly come into your own, and it's that's going to shine back to you as you walk down those avenues. Okay, I'm going to take the runes and see what they have to say about this particular element, about you walking into your own. Okay. Oh, yeah. Well, I'll just show you what I have here. That's Gifu, Bjork, Berkana, Ing, Rido. I mean, as you move, these are telling me, as you move, you're going to enact the beginning of your future success every step of the way. Let me go back to the Sibila just for a moment. I have here Erzudi la Flambeau, Pedro the 7 card, which is the element of talking to others and gathering information, and this Knight of Wands that comes passionately moving in, ushering in. Okay, now, I have here La Leggerezza, lightness, militare, and Donna Maritata, the mother with children, the wedded woman, the protector. This is saying to me that even if sometimes you get the feeling that you are walking down, you're treading in waters that are not familiar to you, be advised that you are guarded, you are protected, and that you will be coming out ahead simply because you've decided to walk down that road, simply because you are taking up your own initiative. You are being yourself and the new person that the new cloak that you've donned. And it's walking in that, your light, that is going to bring back to you the passion of your activity, of your own, everything that, of your own life. You know, it's as if, I'm having difficulties explaining this, but I'm going to call on the runes for help, because what they're saying is that every step of the way, and I just said that before, every step that you take is you becoming more yourself. And every step, and the more you are yourself, the more you will be rewarded. So fear not, because you are protected in that. The more you walk down your path. Okay, such beautiful runes. Oops, almost threw my computer on the ground. Okay, you won't know it. You know, it will not be apparent to you immediately. It will not be apparent to you immediately because there will be a moment of uncertainty, as if you're on quicksand, you know, and as if you're going beyond your range. You get the impression that I'm going into uncharted territory, but fear not. It is going to be successful. There is going to be a ray of light. This is the sun. It is shining down, and it is a road that will be causing you some concern because it is a little more than the other roads. It is not as familiar to you, and it will change you. It will change you. But it's going to be a complete successful transformation for you. Ladies and gentlemen, Cancer friends, I hope this has been of help to you. Very interesting, calm month for you, full of return. Because what I see is every step you take, there's a return for you. Namaste, ladies and gentlemen, Cancer friends. I do hope this was of help. And for those of you who are in the United States, do have a wonderful 4th of July. Bye-bye.